Most important 7 days of your lives. I'm talking about the 7 days before the end of the probationary period. After your shows next Sunday, your fate at this station will be sealed. But remember, if we fail on Sunday, if we don't get to carry on with this great experiment, it won't be the end of the world.
Okay, so while we're away from here, we think about other stuff. While we're here, we work. Therefore, no nerves, no problem. We stroll it on Sunday.
Can we talk about stuff as well? Unimportant stuff.
Great. Even better.
So, how was your date with Kyla?
That's not unimportant.
Depends on how we talk about it.
Well, you should know how it went. You were there.
Not all the time. I went to the toilet twice.
Okay, so my short moments alone with Kyla were great. How about yours?
I didn't have any.
You did. When I dropped the pepper and you both went to look for it under the table.
Oh, yeah. That was fantastic.
The end of the evening was really embarrassing. Did she have to give us marks out of 10?
Don't worry. You'll do better next time.
This can't go on. Sooner or later, she's going to decide that I'm much more...
What makes you think she's going to pick you?
Of course she is. Why do you think she... Unimportant. I said stick to something unimportant.
So, what are you going to do if we don't succeed on Sunday? If we can't work together again?
I don't even want to think about it. The time at the top of the hour will be 6 o'clock. You can catch me tomorrow at the opening of the DIY Superstore on County Street. But for now, hoping I leave you in fine fettle, this is Terry Jacks, Terry at Tea Time, signing off with another golden oldie.
Good morning. We're here to collect for dogs. Dogs? We made an appointment.
I have nothing for Sunday. No jokes, no stunts, no japes. I'm going to stare at the microphone in silence.
Boz, we're sorry for you, but we're all under pressure here.
At least you're preparing your shows. I have a critical case of DJ's block.
That charity thing gets them every time. Right. We can't just sit around getting more and more nervous. There are positive things we can do.
Like what?
Like a publicity campaign. Like doing some real work about our shows.
This is real work. We're checking through what we're going to play.
Don't jump in like that, Jax. Let's hear what Kyla's got to say. I'm sure it's interesting.
James.
What?
That's the place where he can be found. Right. Bunting? Confetti? Chocolate delights? Okay. We should make a major effort to improve the quality of the shows.
Our show's getting better all the time. I don't see there's much else we could do.
There's always something. Any ideas, Kyla?
One or two. For instance, every time James gets too enthusiastic on the microphone, he causes distortion.
Right. A serious problem. Thanks for bringing that to our attention.
There he is!
I say, be careful! Stop!
Bosmania.
Did you have anything to do with that?
No, Boz has found his audience. Or rather, they found him. Mum, listen. We can't just sit around doing nothing about Sunday. I've got a few ideas about how we can improve things. Maybe...
Kathy, oh, thought you'd be alone. But I suppose, your daughter should hear this too. As you know, your young DJs have only 5 days before their time at this station is over.
Or until we get regular slots.
I've called a special meeting of the Board of Directors on Sunday. We'll be listening in, monitoring you the whole way, concentrating on every word, every record, and then we'll vote to decide whether or not you can stay. I've even persuaded Mr. and Mrs. Healing to attend.
Who?
They were great DJs in the 50s. They met and got married here.
And they're only on the board as a mark of respect. They never come to meetings.
They're coming to this one. Making quite a long journey, actually, as a favour to me. With them, I do believe my point of view will have a majority, and this station will finally be free of children. So, as you youngsters say, no pressure.
That man is going to be reincarnated as a slug.
So he's moving up the evolutionary ladder?
I know how important your radio show is to you. I hope it doesn't end this weekend.
Even if it does, I'm sure I'll still find a way to be on the radio.
On the line again this evening is one of our most regular callers. What have you got to say, Kyla?
Oh, so you finally got round to me.
Of course.
I've called in to complain about everything.
Everything?
My mother is getting on my nerves.
Your mother?
I have this really awful job, and the whole world is just so rotten. Why isn't anybody doing anything about it? That's all the problems I've counted so far.
So far, that's 48 problems. I've been counting. Look, Kyla, it's all very well you telling us what our problems are, but what are you going to do about them?
I'm sure she's got lots of good ideas.
Will you just stop?
James is right. I have a solution for every problem, including that one about you causing distortion. Okay, say something.
This better affect my score next time we go out. Hey! Ow!
See? You'll start to associate talking too loudly with being walked over the head.
Stop! What are you doing? Why are you here? How did you manage to get in again after I left security? Such detailed sketches.
You are the greatest DJ in the world, and we're your greatest fans. This is Grace. This is Grace. And I'm Grace.
Gracious.
You asked for inspiration? Well, we're here to inspire you.
Good. We'll attach it to the antenna on the roof.
Who's going to get that job?
Stephen's in the frame for the high-altitude antenna climb. I've alerted the media, and he's out delivering the 30,000 leaflets I had made up.
30,000?
Mr. Printer's machine had this dial for number of copies. I added a couple of zeros and took him out to lunch. Now, I want you and James in training for your publicity event. There's this big football match in town this weekend.
Yeah?
And with this banner, you're going to run across the pitch
Great.
naked.
You have some wonderful ideas. I would never have thought to get listeners to shout from their windows.
And jump up and down as they do it. We calculate that you'll be able to hear it across the city. And with any luck, it'll create a minor earth tremor.
Oh, so that's why you brought in the earthquake sensor. I don't know about this one.
Boz, we're your biggest fans. We know what's best for you. And there's this vote thing on Sunday. We have to make sure that your show is fabulous.
Yes, but
If you couldn't do your radio show anymore, the world would lose your talents.
I'm sure I'd find some new outlet. And on the show tonight, we meet the man who carves the royals in jelly. We ask, is one of your family a marsupial? And we check out the synchronized swimming teams of the main political parties. Who? NASA? Yes, I was the one who wanted the ticket to Mars. We'll construct a rocket then. We'll be back after the break when...
It's Winkles!
The banner is flying proudly from the antenna.
Stephen nearly died doing that.
Sorry, I really should have warned him about the news helicopter. The local papers are in an uproar about that story I gave them. The one about the kitten I wired up to the audience appreciation meter. What do you think about the slogan, tune in or the kitten gets it? Not that there really is a kitten, of course. You've calmed down. How?
I'm reading this wonderful book about the butterfly effect.
What's that?
It means that the flapping of a butterfly's wings on one continent can cause a hurricane on another.
Wow. So if you could get hundreds of butterflies all flapping their wings at once.
Doesn't work like that.
It means that tiny things cause big effects, and we've got no way of knowing what they'll be. It's a nice thought when you're worrying about the future.
You don't have to worry, do you? If we lose the vote, you're going to become a great scientist.
I'm here today to talk about the strengthening of the molecular structure of building materials through the nuclear fusion of molten titanium and steel. These heavy metals will atom bomb your brain into the 22nd century of 100% metal meltdown. Sorry.
So far, we found 4 records that both the DJs and the board would like.
Do you think Kyla will settle for that?
No. I don't think she'll settle for anything. Oh, I've had it with this. What about you?
Well, I didn't like the squeaky mallet. But I've been thinking about the banner and the football match, and
James, why are you trying to comfy up to Kyla?
Because of what you said. She's got to choose between us sooner or later.
So you're competing with me?
May the best man win and all that stuff.
All right, fine, but on this one thing, will you at least back me up? We both know we'll be better on Sunday if we're relaxed, not worrying about our futures or our parents seeing the sports news.
You want me to tell Kyla to stop running around with a clipboard?
I want us both to tell her.
Okay. I'm right behind you. When have I ever let you down?
Great. Thanks, mate.
How's it going?
Kyla, we can't do this anymore. You're ordering us about, getting us all worked up, and it's not going to make any difference because...
Is this what you both think?
Well, the way I see it,
Right behind me, you said. Do you really think this is going to impress her?
It's not just me that's trying to impress her.
You what?
You've been worked up ever since you decided to go out with me as well. Now you're trying to be all big and...
Oh, well, that's it. I've had it with you.
Don't you walk away from me!
Come back here.
Here's everything for you to play on Sunday. Your jokes, stunts, and japes.
Dears,
Now,
Graces, please, listen. I've been thinking about the future. The image I had of being a success. It all depended on you. On these wonderful ideas of yours. And the more I've been thinking about it, the more I feel that it wouldn't be fair to keep using you like this.
but we enjoy being used.
I mean, it wouldn't be fair to me. I have to stand on my own 2 feet. Sunday's the most important show of my life. I must do it without a safety net.
Hey, Boz.
No, I've made up my mind. I must rely on my own imagination. Now, don't get all upset. There must be no tears, no...
Oh, Boz, you were every inch the hero we took you to be. To make such a brave decision. You are really the greatest DJ in the whole of the world. Girls, let us depart.
Stephen, you and I can talk about anything, can't we?
Sure.
So, if there was something I could do to improve my radio show, you'd tell me.
Of course. If you ask me.
I'm asking you.
Okay. I'll tell you if you tell me what's wrong with mine. You first. Go on.
Well, as a favour to me, on your show on Sunday, would you not mention your grief process?
I guess sorrow is kind of an acquired taste. Can I ask you a similar favour?
Anything.
Well, I was wondering, could you please not use the word mother on your show as an insult?
Sure. Stephen, if we don't win on Sunday, if you lose your radio show, how's your life going to end up?
Excuse me, I was wondering if...
No talking aloud. If you need to communicate, send me an email.
trifling with your boyfriend's affections? Because I just ran into them. They don't seem to be talking to each other.
They've had a fight over me.
Is that good or bad?
Bad. Which is weird. I liked it before, but now they seem to mean it. I'm trying to avoid them. Did you ever have more than one boyfriend?
Are you kidding me? Actually, no. Never. What are you doing on my computer?
Hosting our Sunday schedule to 300 websites.
Good idea.
Of course, all my efforts might not mean a thing with those two old directors arriving to swing the vote.
There's always hope. Try not to worry. Don't let the boys get you down either. Hey, 300 websites? Is that on the station's phone bill?
On the Prime Minister's phone bill.
Oh, cool. Power to the people.
It's amazing what adults will do about the internet.
Yes, yes. Old place is still doing fine. Apart from there being children everywhere. Yes, we will fix that. Glad you agree. The vote should be a pushover. I'll send a car to pick you up at the station. What time's your train due in?
Can I have a word?
James, I can't do anything to help you with Kyla.
This isn't about Kyla. I wanted to talk to you.
Sure? What's on your mind?
We're not going to win this vote, are we?
No. Unless something amazing happens. Even with that banner on the antenna and everything else you guys have done, it still looks like those two old DJs are probably going to swing the vote.
Thanks for telling me. You know, my mum and dad aren't very interested in my...
They should be. I'd be so proud of you if you were my son.
Well, and there's even more reason for me to say this. Right now, I'm rowing with my mate. I'm more nervous than I've ever been in my life. But it's worth it for the chance to do the only thing I'm good at. To be in radio. And to be myself. I just wanted to say, whether we make it or not, thanks.
Thank you. That was quite an emotional speech.
That's it for me and my emotions for a while. It's probably for the best if we're going off air.
Well, like I said, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Maybe not for the others. But it would be for me.
Well, well. Fancy meeting you here.
You. Come to gloat, have you?
Not at all. I just happened to be passing. What have you been doing all these years?
Running a pirate radio station, getting caught, getting sentenced.
Round and round, eh? I knew you were the criminal type, that you wouldn't ever amount to anything.
I am what I am, and I pay for it.
I am what I am, too. But I get paid for it. A lot. See you around, jailbird.
Hi.
Hi.
Listen, about the other day. James, I don't want to go into detail about the fight, but what it comes down to is this. What's more important, your mate or a sort of girlfriend?
Stupid question. They're different things.
Well, think of it as a balloon debate.
What?
You, me and Kyla are in this balloon, and it's getting heavy and it's going to crash, so one of us has to jump out. Who would you want it to be?
How did we get into the balloon in the first place?
What?
And if it's going to come down because it's too heavy, how did it get up there?
That's not the point.
Couldn't one of us just wait till it's really close to the ground and just hop out? Why are you laughing?
Never mind.
Have you two made up?
I think so.
Hey, boss. Where are the Graces?
Oh, I sent them away.
What? Well, can you do your show without them?
We'll see, won't we? I need to know if my imagination still works. There's no point depending on someone else for that.
Well, even today.
Especially today.
Hi, Kyla.
How are you?
Great. All here, all ready for your shows. Now, before you go on, I have something very
Ah, you're all gathered. Just like a school assembly. The board of directors are assembled too. We're waiting to hear what you've got to offer.
What about Mr. and Mrs. Healing?
Their train's not due until midday, but I'm sure they'll be here in good time to vote. Soon everything will be back to normal.
Ignore him. This is your time, not Tony's, not even mine. I'm going to go to my office to listen. The best advice I can give you is something James said to me yesterday. When you're on air, just be yourself. I love you guys. Go for it.
Come on, I'll help you set up for your show.
We all will.
Kyla, wait.
Why are you ignoring us?
I suppose I'm going to have to tell you. I didn't want to do it before you went on air.
Tell us what?
I don't want you two fighting over me. I don't like having such power over you. With great power must come great responsibility, as the amazing Spider-Man once said.
So what are you going to do?
I'm thinking of dumping you. Both of you. If you can't stop fighting over me.
Well, it's going to be hard, but if it's what Kyla wants...
I think I can put up with you a little while longer.
We'll go and help Boss prepare for his show.
Together.
Together.
You'll be fine, Boss. Just do what you do every...
This really was down to us. With Tony stacking the vote in his favour, I don't know how we can win.
And here's the news at 10 o'clock. Rail travel to and from the city has been suspended for what could be all day. Travellers are trapped on trains up and down the line. This rail chaos was caused when a lorry shed its load down onto the tracks from a bridge, destroying overhead power lines. A spokesman
So,
for Railtrack
those two old directors won't be able to make it to the vote.
The driver, who escaped unharmed, stated that he'd been distracted by a large, colourful banner fluttering on top of a tall building.
The butterfly effect.
Quiet, please. I'm on in a moment.
This is Stage FM.
Hello again. I've been a bit nervous this week. Still am, actually. I've been biting my nails, sweating, itching. Which gives me an idea about the raw materials you're going to need for my phone-in this week. I can see it now. This one is definitely going to upset your parents. But first, here's 4 3/4 minutes of glorious alpine birdsong.
Come on, I'm sending a shout out to my...
I've had a request not to talk about my grief process today. So I'm not going to. Before we get old, let's dance.
So, in girls' comics, even when a girl's going out with a boy, they don't snog.
Usually a girl goes out with a couple of boys, keeps her options open.
Not at all like the real world, then. If any of our listeners would like to snog us, the number is...
This is Kyla Live, and you've been listening to the young DJs of City Beat FM. It's been an incredible few weeks. The best of our lives. And now... and now we wait. We have to wait and see if you lot, and the board, liked us enough to keep us. We have to wait and see if the butterfly is on our side. Oh! I'm going to give the mic back to James and Jats to sign off for today, because they started all of this, and because they're attacking me!
Okay. If this is the last time...
Then it's been a good one. Good to have our mates with us.
This has been James.
And Jax, and we'll be here...
Next week.
Depending on the ratings.
For some more.
Cheers!